All right, what's on the bench? This is a Melles Griot box. You're probably not familiar with Melles Griot because unless you're an optics engineer, they did all kinds of optics things. I don't think they're in business any longer. I think they got absorbed somewhere. I don't know if Thor Labs grabbed them or Newport, I forget. Anyway, I don't think they're around any longer. But they had these really nice boxes for photo detectors. You put a photo diode on here, and then it was a transimpedance amplifier converted amps into volts, and the volts came out here. So amps in here, volts out here. They had a pretty wide range. You could go from 200 milliamps full scale to 2 nanoamps full scale. Okay, that is a pretty nice wide range. And then had a display here that told you how many you got. You know, if it was on the 20 amp and it said, 10, you knew, anyway, you get the idea. Obviously the display is dead on this one. Now I can't count the number of versions of this that I've had. This is, like I said, this is the older one. The newer one's a little nicer. The newer one was also battery powered. Is this one battery powered? I doubt it. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, it is battery powered. So yeah, so normally you would just charge these things up and then you use them battery powered so they didn't get any noise from the outside world, at 2 nanoamps. On, off. And yeah, they were very super simple. You could adjust the 0 here right on the front panel. Now, this one is obviously very dead. The display is broken and it kind of rattles and it looks like it's rusty. So why did I buy it? Well, first of all, it was $16. So I wanted to build my own transimpedance amplifier. Like I said, I've had several of these. I sold them all. They're really good money. I think one of these in good nick was like $600-800. Yeah, I had a bunch of them. I sold them because I don't do optics any longer, but I kind of miss it. So I thought I'd just build my own. And I think a lot of people will be interested in that. Lay out a PC board and make it microprocessor controlled and stuff, and do a transimpedance amplifier for photodiodes. But if this thing is totally dead, I can use the box. If it's not totally dead, maybe I can use their circuit and maybe put in my own display or something like that, right? So let's open this thing up and see how bad it is. I think we'll take the back off. Let's do that. Let me get a box for the screws. It worked really well. All right, let's see if we can't pry the back open. There we go. Here's some boards coming out. Whoa! Oh, look at all the batteries. Look at all the batteries. Yep. And they are crusty. Some of them not as much as others. But yeah, let's get these suckers out of there. If we decide to make it battery powered, I'll probably do lithium. None of this nickel metal hydride any longer. It's not too bad. So what's the deal here? What's the dealio? I guess the batteries come out on this connector, and then this connector goes to the board that actually has the amplifiers and stuff in it. And what the heck is that doing in there? Well, that's bizarre. There's a fiber optic. There's a fiber optic bundle. What does that do? Ah, very confused. Oh, it goes onto this thing. Oh, there's an actual optocoupler. Oh, homebrew. Oh, that's bizarre. Okay, you got to see this. I've got to get this out of there. Let's take the front off. I have to say I've never been inside one of these, so I didn't know what to expect. I looked for schematics and stuff, but of course these are proprietary. No way to get schematics for these things, but they should be pretty simple, right? Should be a nice, expensive op amp. that operates in transimpedance mode, and maybe a buffer. That's about it for these things. Lots of ranges. All right, oh, there we go. Ah, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, whew. Okay, let's look inside this thing here. Yeah, did not expect to see this bundle of fibers. Holy crud, what is that? Where does that go? Where does that even go? Huh. Obviously, you know, I think it goes... I think these went together at one time down here, like this. And it shined light up to... Wow. I don't know. I mean, I could guess that this is an optical link to the display. I don't know. I think we need to dig in a little deeper here. Power plus, power minus, okay. Yeah, so the batteries are arranged so you get plus and minus voltages, and they come up, plus and minus comes up here to run op amps and things. Let's see here. We have a LM 393, isn't that a comparator? We have a 74HC10, a 74HC10. Those are probably something like an OR gate or AND gate or something. And then here's the range switch. See, the range switch is here. And so these are all of the range things, right? All the different values of resistances, and then whenever you have a transimpedance amplifier, they like to ring, and so you put a capacitor across the feedback loop as well. So that all scales here. And I'm trying to read some values here at the high end, 100. Yeah, it's hard to read. We'll have to ohm those all out. Here's a Precision Monolithics OP16. So that must be the transimpedance amplifier right there. The signal comes in here. It goes right into the OP16, and then here's all the switchable gain. So this is really straightforward stuff. Here's an offset for it. And there's a funny little, does this come off? Yeah, this comes off. Pin 14, pin 1. And where's I can't read it without a, that's an OP27. Also a very nice op amp. So we have an OP16 and an OP27. And the 27 goes to the monitor output. So that's the drive for the monitor output. Looks like there's also a maybe a gain setting here to calibrate the offset or gain of the monitor to make sure it's actually say 1 volt per milliamp. You know, it's exactly true. We have some funny little transistors here with heat sinks on them, which I don't quite understand what they do, other than they drive this weird LED that goes to the front. All right, well, the front's broken anyway, right? So we need to take out the front and see what's going on with that thing. It's very, very strange. Oh, this might just come off. Let me see if I could, yep, if I can do some damage here. There we go. There we go. Wow. That is just the backlight. This is just the backlight for the display. It's got a really nice, these things, I don't know, this one, it had a really nice red backlight to the LCD. So it's an LCD voltmeter on the front, just, you know, garden variety. Pop that in here. But this just makes a nice backlight. I mean, talk about, you know, if you have a optical company, which Melles Griot was, you probably overdo your engineering with optics, like use fiber optics for your backlight display. That's just hilarious. Yeah, how much money is that? They did look nice, though. I do have to say, they did look nice. So, yeah, okay. Now I understand that thing. Yeah, this is just off the shelf. So if I wanted to repair this, I could just pop one in and be done. And maybe that's all I need. Maybe the rest of it works, huh? I don't know. Kind of curious why we need a comparator in the back there. And this section here seems really weird. I think some reverse engineering is in order for this thing. But yeah, this is a great starting point. Even if I just kind of cobble into it, use this section, and I don't know. We will see. Okay, let's look for some date codes. Look for some date codes: 89, 92. Yeah, 83. Those are old though. Yeah, say 92 sounds about right. Mid 90s. The power supply section has LM3, an LM337, and an LM317. So plus and minus regulation with some protection zener. This is all real standard stuff here. There is some bridge rectifiers here. So if you do feed it, AC, it's then able to generate the plus and the minus voltages. So you don't have to bring that in separately. It's just you bring in AC and you're done. And there's probably charging circuits, although quite crude, I would imagine, constant current or something, onto the nickel metal hydrides. I don't think there's any fanciness. Anyway, there you go. So this is going to be a project. So it's better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a basket case inside, but it doesn't look too bad at all. Probably want to redesign this board for lithium and maybe put in some DC to DC converters to generate the voltages. Although this is nice and quiet, battery powered and linear regulators, so we have to look into that. You can see the analog section has guard grounds across everything because you're talking about 2 nanoamps. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was for 16 bucks. I think it was a steal.